Hi folks, we're looking at evidence of evolution, and we're just going to look at some arguments that will help us to tackle these evolutionists today. First of all, I ask a question to evolutionists, and that is this: if evolution's true and it was based in science, how come its roots go back even to in Egyptian mythology? If you look at Egyptian mythology, evolution was taught in those times. Secondly, if evolution's true, how come the world is so perfectly balanced in its access and in everything from the air to the water to everything that we need is just perfect for what is needed to sustain life? That could not have happened by accident. How can you explain this, evolutionists? Thirdly, if evolution's true, how come there have been so many hoaxes concerning missing links? We have the Nebraska Man, the Pitdown Man, Cro-Magnon, and many other missing links that were said to be missing links, but were found to be hoax. How come evolutionists don't accept this, that there are no missing links? Next, how come evolutionists ignore the complexity of life? There is so much complexity, it cannot be accounted for by chance. Next, how come evolutionists ignore DNA? There are within DNA 1 billion pieces of information, and we know wherever there is information, there is an intelligence. So how come evolutionists ignore this vital, important evidence of a creator? How come evolutionists ignore carbon dating, carbon-14 in carbon dating? Carbon-14 goes back to about 5,000 years. But yet it can be found in traces. It only goes back to about 5,000 years, and yet people who bring up samples from billions of years ago find carbon-14 within those traces, proving that they're not billions of years old, but the Earth is much younger than propounded to be. Next, how come atheists and evolutionists ignore the law of empathy, that everything's cooling down and running down and deteriorating, which is a known law, and yet that is contradicted evolution, which says everything is moving forward and evolving? How come there is an ignoring of this law? Next, the law of biogenesis, that only life produces life. How come evolutionists ignore this vital scientific fact that only life comes from life? So where did the first life come from? How can you explain that? And then next question: if we have evolved, we would be able to see year by year, month by month, evolution taking place now. How come we can't observe evolution taking place today? Next question: how come, if we have evolved, that we would be able to see morals evolving in a hierarchy? But we can show that throughout all history, at all times, there has been a universal conscience that we should love and care and respect for each other. How come?